Welcome to Elfyn Roberts' Climbing Skills Masterclass. Today we'll be looking at a skill called belaying, which is used to control a climber's ascent. This skill, if done incorrectly, can be very dangerous for the climber, so we must get it right. Let's look at the equipment used for belaying. One of the most important pieces of kit for belaying is a stitch plate. These come in a number of shapes and sizes. Most starting out climbers go for the more basic stitch plate. For example, the standard black diamond ATC. This is a smooth tube-like shaped device and has the option of using 2 ropes due to having 2 slots. This device is quite a low friction rating compared to other devices, so it's good for experienced fast climbers. One disadvantage of the device is that during long climbs, or if the climber is quite heavy, there's a lot of strain on the belayer's lock-off hand. This is due to a low friction rating. The device needs to be firmly locked off or it will slip. It's very simple to feed the rope through it. You just take the rope, you pinch it, and then feed it through either slots. Then you take your HMS carabiner, open it and attach it to both the stitch plate and the rope. Then take your harness and attach it to correct belay loop on your harness and fasten up the HMS carabiner. This device can be bought from any climbing gear retailer at a price of around £15. If you're looking for a device that gives you more option in use, then the Black Diamond ATC guide is a perfect choice. It gives you the option of using a smoother edge with less friction or a rigid edge that allows more friction. It's a bit more expensive than the standard ATC, around £23, but it does give you more choice in use. Another form of belay device is the automatic lock-off device. The most popular device at present is the Petzl Gregory. This device was designed as a fail-safe system, meaning that it locks off automatically if the belayer somehow fails to hold on to the rope. To attach the device to the rope, you simply slide open the device, like so, take your rope and feed it through the device as the little diagram shows on the inside. And then slide the device closed again, attaching your HMS carabiner to the slots available. Then attach the HMS carabiner to the belay loop on your harness and fasten up the screw gate. If the climber suddenly falls, the device will automatically lock, pinching the rope. The device will not release until this black lever is pulled back, releasing the rope, and the climber will ascend in a controlled manner. The device is quite expensive to buy, in the remit of £80, but it has been proven to be very reliable. Today we will be using the DMM Bug. It is a very minimalistic device and one of the cheapest on the market. Again, it has a very low friction rating, so users must be aware of this. Just like the Black Diamond ATC, it has 2 slots, so you can use 2 ropes. Okay, let's have a look at the Bug in action. Observe the movements made by the belayer. Can you see what the belayer is doing? Try and follow his hands and movements. Belaying has key specific movements and need to be learned properly so that the climber is safe at all times. Did you see the separate movements that the belayer was making, or did it look like one big movement? Let's break it down. Firstly, start with one hand on the bottom rope and one on the highest rope. Secondly, reach high and pull highest rope down and pull bottom rope up. Then, move bottom rope back down. Bring hand from highest rope to bottom rope. And finally, slide other hand up, then move the hand back to highest rope. This cycle is repeated constantly throughout the climb, and one hand should always be kept on the bottom rope and slack should be pulled in. Right, let's look at what the belayer does if the climber happens to fall. Let's look at this in slow motion. Notice the belayer's movement as the climber falls. Both his hands firmly hold down the bottom rope, causing the rope to lock and restricts a big fall for the climber. It's important to take into account that in some instances the climber might be much heavier than the belayer. This can cause a slight problem. Let's have a look. Notice how the belayer is slightly lifted off the ground. How can this be avoided? At most major climbing walls, the easiest way to deal with this problem is to attach sandbags to the belayer's harness. This will restrict the belayer from getting lifted off the ground if the climber takes a fall. Another way of stopping the belayer from getting lifted off the ground is to get an extra person to attach themselves with a sling to the belayer's harness from behind. So that's the basic principles of belaying. Remember, you have the safety of the climber in your hands. So try and follow all these simple steps that you've learned today. Remember, concentrate on the climber and don't get distracted. I hope this tutorial will help you in future climbing. I'm Elfyn Roberts. Climb safe.